Hi there, this is Linda and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be unboxing the Summer Avenue collection from Cocoa Daisy for June 2026 and putting together a project. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, you guys, I am super excited about this one. This is the June collection, so we're getting into summertime and summer colors, and it is called Summer Avenue. I'm gonna write that on here. And what I do with my kits is I have these trays that I keep them in while I'm working with them. So as I unbox it, I'm gonna go ahead and stick it into this tray, and I just tape a little label on here so I know what kit it is, and when I'm done, I'll rip that off and use this for another kit. So you can see from the marketing card, there's these fun houses and watercolors and the color scheme. Just super excited about this one. So let's go ahead and take everything out. Okay, so I get a collection of kits, and so I'm gonna unbox all of them and then I'll put together a project. And I have added timestamps in the description box below, so you should be able to skip if you just wanna see one or a few of the kits or just the process video, so you don't have to watch the full thing. I get, every month, I get this scrapbook kit and pocket card add-on. I get the stationery kit, I get the washi trio, and I get the classic cousin sticker kit. So let's start with the classic cousin sticker kit. First, every time I get an order from Cocoa Daisy, you get the marketing card, and then there's usually a themed sticker. So this is the sticker that goes with this collection. And I'm gonna get a little tray to put some of these embellishments in. This guy is just gonna show me. Get a couple wooden trays here to put embellishments in my stash here, or in here, to just organize them as I go. So the classic cousin sticker kit is just like what it sounds like. It's for the Hobonichi cousin, but you can use it in any type of journal or planner. You can use them in your scrapbook, but they're all flat stickers, which work really well in journals and planners. I don't get the Hobonichi cousin myself, but I still like this kit because I can use them in my daily journal. A lot of these shapes are perfectly sized though for the weekly columns, but I've never used them that way. Even when I use the Hobonichi cousin, I did occasionally, but I like to use them just in my daily spreads. I really, really love this one for June. And then you've got some label stickers on here. So you always have two sheets that have these large rectangles that fit on the cider of the weekly spread in the Hobonichi cousin, but like I said, you can use them in a lot of places. And then there's labels. There's always this planner page that has some labels, some like planning icons and lists. This one is always my favorite. There's always one that has just an assortment of stickers and word phrase strips, and you guys know I'm obsessed with word phrase strips, and these stickers on this one are so cute. I love these little Polaroids and the buildings, just adorable. And we've got this one that has days of the week. I like to use these in my take a note or in my daily journal. We've got some planner icons and then some stickers that say menu plan this week and next week. There's always a sheet that has alphas and numbers. So if you have an undated planner, you can use this on a monthly. I tend to not use them for that purpose. I just use them in various projects. And then you've got some like washi strips on here that are not washi, it's just paper. But then there's a sheet that is washi. And so you've got some just decorative stickers up here and some washi strips. Super cute. Love the colors this month and very excited to play with this one. Put this here and move on. Okay, let's do the stationery kit next. Okay, so the stationery kit is the kit that I recommend if you do a little bit of everything like me and you just want to pick up one sub from Cocoa Daisy. This is the one that I recommend because it's a lower price point and you get quite a variety of items without too much. I have gotten some comments and questions recently about getting a sub from Cocoa Daisy or picking up kits from Cocoa Daisy. So Cocoa Daisy is a small business, so they do have limited capacity and their kits do tend to sell out. Before I was on their creative team, I had tried to pick up kits as one-offs without subscribing with very little luck, because it is very hard to get a kit without subscribing from Cocoa Daisy because they do have a limited supply. If you are a subscriber to one kit though, you do get early access to buy the other kits as add-ons. So once you're a subscriber, it's much easier to get other kits. So a lot of the kits are waitlisted, but you can put yourself on the wait list. But what I recommend if you are interested in Cocoa Daisy is picking up at least one subscription, even if it is a smaller kit like the stationery kit, because then you have access to the early subscriber shopping and you can add on more kits if you really love that month's theme. And then if you don't love that month's theme, then you just have a small kit. It's not a very high price point, and there are a lot of buy and sell trade groups on like Facebook and stuff where Cocoa Daisy things are very easy to sell. I've never done it myself, but I do know that a lot of people have said that. So that's just some background if you are interested in picking up something from Cocoa Daisy. So this kit comes with a vellum and a transparency every month. Just gonna put it on here so you can see. This transparency is such a cute little map. It looks like it is Baltimore, Maryland, which I don't really have anything to document regarding that, but this would be cute in a travel album. Even if you didn't want to do Baltimore, you could just cover up where it says Baltimore and put this as just a nice transparency. So I'm probably going to save it for travel. And then there's this postcard for this vellum, and this is just super cute. Usually these are background ones, so this is more of like the whole thing would go into an album. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but it's very adorable. Then lately they've been coming with a large sticker sheet of clear stickers. I love these in my journal. They're so thin, so they're great for in the journal. And I love these little houses, the baguette, the little camera and coffee, so cute. And then we've got this larger sticker sheet. I don't think this is in every month. Some of these items are in every month and other things are in just some months. But this one I really like. This is so cute. Again, with the houses, little cars, cafes, just very adorable. These ones are a little bit thicker though, so I would probably use these in my scrapbook, but you could use them in a journal for sure. Every month, this kit comes with a postcard. And so this is a super cute little road trip postcard. I'm pretty sure that's the first day of summer, so that's what that date is for. And I like to use these in mini albums, or you can use them just in Project Life. These are 4x6, so even though it's designed like a postcard, you can just stick it in a pocket. And that would make a really cute title card for a week, especially for a week that has a road trip. Then it comes with 3 little sticker sheets. So there's always one that has the days of the week, which like I said, on the ones from the Classic Cousin sticker kit, these are great for in my weekly planner. I use the Take a Note. I also have an undated everyday carry planner, which is like, it's the soft paper studio planner that looks like a Hobony 2 Weeks, but without branding. So these would work well in there. And you can also use them in scrapbooks. I use them in my daily journal pages. Just never can get enough of days of the week. And then we've got more of the houses. And then this one looks like little matchbooks and Polaroids and a little camera and car. I love these Polaroids. They're so cute. This kit always comes with a notepad set, and I like to use these in my journal spreads. If you do a daily journal like I do and you struggle with formatting a page, this is a great way to break up your page and just highlight one little story, and then you can work the rest of your spread around it. So I highly recommend those for that. There's always a pin. There's usually some other items. So this month we have this kind of like binder clip here. And I like having some binder clips for taking photos of my album or my journals and planners. And this is just such a pretty blue. I'm really happy with that one. And then we've got a die cut set. So the die cuts from Cocoa Daisy are stickers, and the ones in this kit are vellum. So they are transparent and they work so well in my daily journal. We've got all these little houses again. I'm just gonna throw them in here. Got a little camera, car, Polaroid. So all of the same icons that you've had in the rest of the kit. Just super cute little plant, things that I will definitely use in my daily journal. And then the last thing in this kit is a roll of washi tape. So I'm gonna get my journal for today and swatch this. So this is a die cut washi, which I've been seeing a lot more of these lately, and they're really cute. We've got this, it's like a little brick wall with some plants on it. So very, very nice. I like that one a lot. Now let's move on to the washi trio. So the washi trio has just 3 washi tapes that coordinate with the collection. I'm pretty sure they are all duplicates of ones in various kits, but I don't get all of the kits, so it's nice to get some of the extra washi tape. Sometimes I do end up with a duplicate of one of the ones in the kits that I do pick up. Usually that doesn't bother me too much because I will either save it as a backup or gift it to a friend. It looks like this one this month is the same as from the scrapbook kit, so I will have 2 of this one. But this is just a nice blue and white map, which will be a very good background and to layer on like travel journaling. So I feel like this one I'm gonna get a lot of use out of. Then we have this one with the houses from this kit, and I'm super excited about this one. I think this has gotta be my favorite this month. I just love these little houses. I think they look so cute. I always struggled to get these started, sorry. But I think they always look so adorable. And then the houses on this one, they're just so tiny. They're so cute. I also really like these colors. I feel like I'm gonna use that one a lot also. And then we've got this like airmail one, which this is always good for documenting like happy mail. And because it's red, white, and blue, I could use it for 4th of July stuff as well. So those are washi tapes. I'm just gonna label that because this washi tape is a duplicate. So these are all of the ones. And then I need to put them in my washi book. I don't do this in every one of these videos, but I have shared this over on Instagram and here before. I catalog all of my washi in this traveler's notebook so that I keep track of where I got everything and when I got it. And it's just really nice to be able to look back and see kind of where each washi came from. So for Cocoa Daisy ones, I will put the name of the Cocoa Daisy and then the month and the name of the collection. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and swatch these in here. There we go. Okay, so now let's do the scrapbook kit. I get the scrapbook kit with the pocket card add-on, and you can get it with various add-ons or without an add-on. And so I'm gonna go ahead and push that to the side. I'm gonna lay this one out on my desk because I'm gonna use this to put together a project on this video. Okay, so let's start with the pattern papers. So regardless of which add-on you do get 6x8 papers because they work in really all projects. And you have 2 of each design. They are double-sided, so if you want to use both designs, you get to use like one of each, or if you don't like one of them, or if you have a favorite paper, you can use it twice, which is always fun to have. And then the little houses and cars, so cute. And then it always comes with just 2 white pieces of cardstock. We've got rub-ons. This month we've got some of these like Polaroid frames, super cute. And then the washi tape. This one I'm gonna go ahead and just stick this in my stash because it's a backup, but I'll just pull this one out because it's part of this kit. Then a stamp set. So unfortunately my stamp sets have been coming as like the test run ones, so you can't see them very well. But we've got like the door hanger, and it says like, shh, do not disturb. We've got a little passport and a camera, some flip-flops, a plane, a little suitcase. This is a really cute like travel themed stamp set. This month it came with this little distress ink, the faded jeans, nice blue. We've got a chipboard sheet. Got the word summer, which is my daughter's name, so I will most definitely use that on a layout about her. And then we've got these little like hotel keychain tags. They're so cute. Love those chipboard. Then we have this sticker book. So there was a sticker book in the February kits from this year, and it was exactly the same, but in black. So this one is in navy blue, and you've got these large alphas in here and just a few little phrases. Then we've got a die cut set. So just like the ones in the stationery kit, these are stickers, but these ones from the scrapbook kit are more designed for scrapbook pages. So you've got like tags and labels, things that work really well in scrapbooking or project life. And they are cardstock rather than vellum. So they're a little bit thicker, but they're easier to write on and things like that. So these ones work really well for scrapbooking. Got a little geotag, some tabs, labels, a lot of sentiments. These are just so cute. Lots of things to use here. A rating. Here's the little door hanger tag. This is what's on the stamp set. Super cute. Okay, then let's go through the pocket cards. We'll do the 4x6 first. Love this kit so much. This is just another one that completely knocked it out of the park. This year, Cocoa Daisy kits have been the best ever. So amazing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to go and look at my daughter's albums. I am working through 2022, filling in gaps in her album. So I'm gonna put together a pocket page spread for June 2022 and see if there's any other stories that I wanna tell from that time frame that I wanna include to fill gaps in her album. And then I'll pop back on here and put that spread together with you guys. Okay, so for this kit, I'm going to be putting together June 2022 in my daughter's album. If you are new here, I have been using my Cocoa Daisy kits in the past few years to fill in gaps in my daughter's high school albums. And essentially what I do is when I get a monthly kit, this is the June kit, I go back to the year I'm working on and do that month in that album. So I'm working through 2022 right now, and this is the 2026 kit. So I have the June 2026 kit, I'm doing June 2022. In her album, I am doing one divided page protector that's 12 by 12 in the design A, and that is going to be, I do one per month, and that is kind of like the main, or my main focus, I guess, each month. And then beyond that, I have been doing a few additional pages. Sometimes I don't do anything extra. It really just depends on that month. So let's see here. This month though, I had so many photos because I documented week in the life, and I was looking through my planned pages for her album. I do some projects in there that are not with the Cocoa Daisy kits, and some have been like planned with older story kits and things. And I had one that was planned in a 6 by 12 for her birthday, which is in May, so right before this. So I thought I could use the back, and I'm gonna treat it like a divided page protector, even though it's not. And I'm just gonna adhere everything down on probably like a piece of white cardstock. I'm not sure yet, I don't have that fully planned out, but I'm thinking I'm gonna do something like that. And then I have, let's see, quite a few photos here. Maybe I printed a little too many, but we'll see how this comes together. So actually I always do my title card, and there's always a 4x6 card that works as a title card for the month. So I'm putting that there. This one is super cute. I had considered putting like this one here, but I wanted to include another photo. So I'm just gonna do a 3x4 over here, and I'm thinking it's gonna be just kind of like a filler. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through these and see what we have that will work in this spread. Okay, so I have a few different things here. I'm thinking I actually could cut out summer here too and put that like, I don't know, or I also had this yes. I was thinking of cutting out and putting on one of these. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. Was just a thought. So I have so many photos. I think I wanna crop one of them down, maybe this one, and put it inside this frame just to break up all of the photos, or maybe this one of us. And then I have this one, which I did, there were two photos here, and I had done this before I printed them. I had known I had so many photos, and so what I decided to do is print these two in this 2.5 by 4 strip rather than 3 by 4, so that it would fit on this camera film kind of card from the kit. Of course, I stick it down wrong because I'm talking. There we go. So that will kind of break up the spread a little bit too. And then maybe I'll put it like that. And then I had this one. This is for her senior ball, but I like this one a lot, but I'm not sure I want to use that filler card here. I wanted to use this one because it's white, but I don't know that that sentiment works. So I'm just gonna go through and see if there's anything else that really works. Otherwise, I'll use that one. I guess there's this one, but I do really like the back. also really liked this one, but it says our life, not your life. And this is more her life. So, and I just love that. I think I want to save that for project life. None of these other ones really work. I could also make my own card. Let's see. We have the pattern papers. I think maybe the stripe one might look good with one of the chipboard pieces. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that to make a filler card and maybe put this on it. And then I'm gonna use either this one or this one for my journaling. And yeah, I'll see how this kind of comes together. I'm gonna put you guys on voiceover though so I can focus and get this one put together. Okay, so I'm gonna start with that 4x6 pocket, like I said, towards the end of the introduction to this. And I'm just gonna crop this down and make it a 4x6 card so that I can put the photo on top of it and it will look like a 3x4 card and two 3x4 cards in a pocket. But this way it'll just have a little bit of structure to it so it doesn't fall apart. When I put two 3x4 cards in a pocket, I often will just adhere them together with a piece of washi tape on the back. But for something like this where I'm cropping it myself, I might as well just make it a 4x6 card. And then I'm going to layer this chipboard on here so it looks like two different 3x4 cards. If I wanted to take advantage of the fact that it was a 4x6 pocket, I could have shifted my photo over a little bit and left some of the stripes on the side. I could have had the chipboard piece layer over the edge of the photo, but for this spread, I felt like not doing that, even though that is what I do in many of my spreads. For my title card, I pulled out my alpha stamp set that I use on all of these spreads to stamp the year. The Cocoa Daisy kits come with a 4x6 card that usually says the name of the month, and that invariably becomes my title card. I think maybe I didn't use that maybe one time in the past like 3 years of doing these pages, but I do always want to add the year on, even though it's usually apparent from the context if I skipped it on one spread just where it was in the album. But just to make it uniform, I'm using that same stamp set on every single one. I'm cropping down this photo to fit in this frame, and I'm doing that for a couple of reasons. One, because there was a lot of like extra space on the photo that just wasn't that pretty. This photo has low lighting, even though it's a fun photo of us shopping, so I wanted to include it. It's not a great quality photo, so cropping it smaller definitely helps minimize the negative impact of a bad photo. I also really wanted to add that border because I have so many photos in this spread. Breaking them up with a border like that just helps to kind of make the spread feel a little bit more balanced. Now I'm working on this photo of my daughter with some friends at prom. We took some photos before prom, so I have one in the top right corner of her with her then boyfriend, who was also her date, of course. And then this one is one with friends. And I wanted to add some sort of label or something at the top so that I could identify what this was a photo of, that this was senior ball. So what I'm doing is going through the die cut pieces, and I'm going to pick one of the label ones and add that on there as a title. I'm also just looking through all of the label or all of the die cut pieces while I'm here and deciding if any of them will fit on other cards. This definitely makes the process goes quicker if I'm not just working on one pocket at a time, but instead while I'm going through the die cut pieces, I'm thinking of ones that could work everywhere. So I added one onto that photo of me and my daughter's talking at the kitchen table. If you're wondering why I have photos like that, Week in the Life was during June this year. So I have quite a few of these photos actually came from Week in the Life. I think maybe even all of them except for the prom photos and the one of her with her teacher and friend at school. maybe not the shopping one, but most of these photos came from Week in the Life. And if you're not familiar with Week in the Life, that is a project where for 1 week in your life, you document in extreme detail, lots of photos and words of what your daily life looks like. And it was a project started by Allie Edwards, and she still leads the community in doing this. We're documenting again this year in May. So if you're interested in participating, I will link some information in the description box below. I have playlists of all of my old Week in the Life albums if it is something you are interested in. And as a side note, if you are not a scrapbooker, I know a lot of people follow my channel who are not scrapbookers. They are journalers or planners. You can definitely do Week in the Life in a journal. So you don't have to be a scrapbooker to participate in this project. Anyways, back to what I'm doing here is I'm adhering these two photos together. I just pulled some old washi tape out of my stash to not use the pretty ones from the kit to adhere these two photos together to put them inside that 4x6 pocket. At this point, I'm just kind of thinking about what else I want to include. I know I need to do my journaling still, but I'm just looking at the rub-ons and all of the other products and trying to decide if I want to add any more die cut pieces or chipboard pieces to embellish. This photo of my daughter in her room, I decided I wanted to add a little bit of text on it to add just some details about her room. She had recently updated her room at this point. I think that that's what I'm ending up writing on there. Honestly, I can't remember at this point, but I did add that label on there, and then I'm just doing a little bit of journaling. For my journaling on this spread, I'm using the Uniball one 0.38 pens. These are the little chunky barrel ones, and I love these ones so much. They have them with a standard barrel as well, and they're the exact same ink, but it's just a very dark black for a gel pen, so I really, really love it. I pulled over, this is my thinking book or notes book or whatever you want to call it. I talk about this in my monthly flip through of my journals and notebooks. Most recently, I shared my March flip through, so I will link that in the description box below if you're interested. But essentially, it's just like an extra place to keep notes or scratch paper. And one of the things I did in there was keep track, or I wrote down a list of all the stories I wanted to include on the spread, but I also was testing out some mild liners to decide which ones coordinated. On my journaling card here, what I decided to do was use a mild liner and a ruler to create a kind of divider to start each section or each number in this bullet point list of stories. And then I'm just writing a little bit of a title on there and then writing a bit more. Now, I don't need to do that. I could have just written out the 6 things, but because I was writing so much on this card, I felt like that would help break it up a little bit and give you some kind of titles. So if you want to just quickly glance at this card and read what each section is about without reading the entire card, you can definitely do that. And it makes it much easier to just kind of view. So I wrote out my 6 main stories from the month on there. So essentially everything that wasn't covered on the other pockets. And you can see from my list there, I was highlighting or marking them off after I did them. So I knew what was already in my spread. Now I'm going to work on this 6x12 pocket, which I talked about in the introduction. I'm just treating it like another divided page protector on this side, but I'm not using a divided page protector because on the back, I'm going to have a 6x12 layout. And again, I'm just using this extra washi tape to adhere these cards back to back or side to side or however you want to explain it, to have them just in this grid shape. And that definitely will work to hold them together. I'm going to do that to put all of these together. But before I decided to adhere this top photo, I'm just adding a little bit of embellishment. There was some extra kind of white space at the bottom of the photo, which is something I do intentionally when taking a lot of photos, especially for Week in the Life, because I like to add embellishments and words and things on top of my photos. So here I added some washi and one of the chipboard pieces, which I think also breaks up the spread a little bit because this photo is right next to another photo. I'm adhering that again to this entire kind of chunk of content. And then I'm going to add on this die cut piece because it's not a divided page protector, so I can overlay some of the joints between the different cards. I'm going ahead and slipping this in the pocket, but once I do that, I realized that this pocket is actually a little bit taller. And I don't know if it was because I cropped my photos too small, or I think it's just that the divided page protector is a little too big, but I didn't like that extra space. So I decided that I was going to add a background to it and just add a little bit more so that it filled the pocket a bit better. Before I did that, I decided to just go ahead and slip everything into the pockets on the right-hand side of the page, which I have decided is done. And most of the months, if you have watched these videos in the past, I just do the divided page protector, the 12 by 12. I don't have an extra page, and that's totally fine. You don't need to add any more. This month I decided I wanted to because I needed to put something on the back of that 6 by 12 anyways, and because I had so many photos because of Week in the Life that I wanted to include. But I definitely could have avoided adding this extra pocket just to keep this project super simple. So what I'm doing now is just lining it up with the extra white cardstock that's in the kit to add a little bit of an extra border along the bottom. And then I'm just going to use my rolling adhesive to adhere my grid of photos and everything on top of this white cardstock. I'm also adding some of the blue kind of washi tape across the bottom there. It's like that blue map washi tape just as a filler. And that's so that you don't end up with a white strip across the bottom. Instead, I'm going to have that washi tape. And it also mirrors the washi tape that I put on the top photo so that they're going to kind of go together, and it will help balance this page and just make it look a little bit more complete. Now I'm going to go ahead and just trim it a little bit so that it's all lined up, and then I will slip it into the pocket and call that one done. This spread came together super quick and easily with the help of these gorgeous kits from Coco Daisy. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And as always, I really hope to see you guys all in the next one. Thank you guys so much for being here. Bye.